Okay. So this is the first day, Thursday, May 15th, that this is cross-examination. The defense is now questioning Cassie Ventura in the Diddy case. And they're doing a pretty much a good job. But this conversation right now I want to have with you, Judge, is not breaking down what the defense is doing. We'll discuss that later. I want to talk about how Hakeem Jeffries,
Stop.
people posting it on X, this is getting spicy. Congressman Hakeem Jeffries linked to Sean Diddy Combs' freak off party. This is by Jonathan Gregory, May 14th, 2025. Washington, D.C., in a bizarre twist emerging from the federal investigations into illicit Hollywood gatherings, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs divulged shocking details about the late night did by Congressman Hakeem Jeffries was a reoccurring guest of honor at covert Communist Party freak-offs themed around exaggerated communist nostalgia. These over-the-top events feature actors dressed as historical revolutionaries and an unsettling array of symbolic rituals.
Did not tell you there was an element in this of trying to protect some people.
Sources familiar with the investigation.
That I find humorous. Dressed up as old commies, ain't that something?
Sources familiar with the investigation say the parties begin with their theatrical controversial acts, including stage flag burning performances meant to lampoon hope or hysteria. Diddy claimed calm down. Diddy claimed Jeffries often insisted on the presence of young Hispanic male performers costumed as flamboyant version of Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro, complete with glittery covered.
Yes. That is so cliche. Oh my goodness.
And choreographed cigar routines. The supposed purpose, political, how you pronounce this word? Catarist mask as performance art through critics
charismatic.
Oh, CATHARSIS.
A
Cathartics mask as performance art, though critics argue it crossed every imaginable line. An especially wild account describes a weekend-long escapade where Jeffries partied for 72 hours straight, demanding increasingly elaborate pageantry. Over 40 impersonators rotated through the night as mock military parades turned into intimate dance battles. It was like Hamilton meets Fear and Loathing in Havana, one unnamed performer said. Despite the absurdity, investigators are looking into whether any laws were broken or if it was simply art pushed into this most chaotic edge.
Oh boy. How about patronizing prostitution?
Well, it says Jeffries.
But then again, let's see, if it's a misdemeanor, which is what that would be, unless it became conspiratorial and ongoing, it would have to be committed in an officer's presence, or there'd have to be a warrant issued on this.
It says Jeffries' office has firmly denied all claims, dismissing them as weaponized fiction. Yet, with Diddy Combs agreeing to a deposition and whispers of video evidence surfacing, the line between satire and scandal grows thinner by the day. As Capitol Hill braces for impact, the public is left to wonder how much of the Communist Party freak-off was a show and how much was real. Hashtag.
Well, why would somebody have a fantasy about that?
A politician would.
And why would somebody involved in national politics with his position as potentially Speaker of the House, which he's held, or why would he be engaged in the totally politically incorrect thing of having a fantasy staged for him about communist leaders put into a sexual context. I mean, the idea of fantasizing about getting off the Fidel and Che is like, that is so weird. It's like I knew they were freaks. If that's true, oh man, that's you know, you can see why these folk want boys and girls bathrooms and in girls sports, and they love this sex change thing. And the boys dressed up as old harlots talking to the young kiddies. You can see why they would support that.
Absolutely. Now,
Boy, didn't I say they were protecting somebody by trying to bring him in? But you know what? They held it off for the election, but it didn't do them any good. Now that stuff's coming out.
yeah, because Trump administration, they have control over all those tapes and evidence.
Now, yeah.
And so, hey, now we don't know how this case is going to end. This case,
I love it. I love it. I love it. That is so
did you like all that other when I wanted to go over the prosecutor's question, Cassie? You wasn't really into that, but this,
Yeah, this is what what lawfare is the use of the criminal process for political, social, or economic purposes. And that's exactly, if this comes out and having any validity, then that just shows the danger of what has been going on at the hands of these leftist fascists over the last several decades, where they, to protect their own, are willing to say to hell with everybody else's rights. Very bad show. Very bad indeed.
one second.
Ooh, wowee whoopee.
1 second. 1 second.
I love this kind of mess.
We appear to be in violation of the House rules, given that the law that was passed in 2022 required that a plaque honoring those heroic police officers be placed on the western front of the Capitol building no later than March 15th, 2023. But 791 days have passed, and this Republican Congress has refused to comply with the law. It's time to honor those heroic officers. It's unconscionable.
Wait a
it's
minute.
unpatriotic.
What heroic
it's unfathomable. It's unacceptable.
What heroic officers?
I think he's talking about the January 6th.
One off-duty female officer got shot to death, and she was one of the protesters. So what heroic officers do we have that we're talking about essentially a peaceful demonstration where damn near everybody in there was invited in? The doors were open.
He said Republicans would rather pardon violent felons who attacked the Capitol than honor the police officers who protected it.
Yeah, nobody protected a damn thing on that day. That was just a clumsy ass mess. Excuse me.
Now,
Obfuscation, and that is the kind of double speak stuff that Orwell made famous when he was talking about 1984 and Animal Farm. Double speak.
Now, with the accusation with him and these, what was the communist? The communist parody freak off.
Dude, you ain't got a leg to stand on. You sitting up there getting busting. Let me be crude. Busting a nut behind looking at Fidel and Che. And that's how you get off sexually. Oh, man, you talking about freak. Whoa.
Well, listen,
I love it.
And so he's been making his rounds.
Hey, man, I won't say nothing, man. You explain yourself, man? That'd be condemning, man.
From the book, President Biden didn't even recognize George Clooney at a fundraiser that the movie star was actually hosting for him. Why should voters trust Democrats when it's clear so many in your party went to great lengths to keep Biden's condition hidden from the public?
I can't tell you what happened between George Clooney and President Biden. I wasn't at that event. What I can say is that we're not looking backward. We're going to continue to look forward, because at this moment, we've got real problems that need to be addressed on behalf of the American people, including the Republican effort to snatch away health care, snatch away food assistance, and hurt veterans.
Excuse the
You interacted with
excuse the hell out of me. It was under your damn administration with that Biden boy that all of the health care expenses went up. Trump's the one trying to bring them down. He's the one trying to say he wants to stop that from being cut. No taxes on Social Security. Hell, we've already paid taxes on it. So what the devil are we talking about here?
Mhm.
What kind of double speak, lying dog type stuff are you talking about? Hakeem Jeffries, yeah.
President.
We like Che and we like Fidel. Oh, yes, I love it.
President Biden during those days, those final days he was president of the United States. Did you sense there was a major deterioration?
Well, in the conversations that I was able to have on behalf of the House Democratic Caucus in those final days, we simply expressed our perspective as to what would be best for the party at that given moment in time. President Biden subsequently made the decision that he was going to pass the baton to Vice President Kamala Harris. Of course, that was a decision that we supported strongly.
Oh,
Just very quickly, I want to.
You made him do it. Don't talk about he volunteered. Come on now.
Ask you, Congressman Jeffries, you say we're not looking back, we're looking forward, but what happened in the past has to do with what's going to happen in the future and whether voters can trust Democrats. As you look back, you were in a leadership position when President Biden decided to run again. Should you have done more at that point to intervene?
It's a great question in terms of whether voters can trust Democrats or not. Every single high-profile special election that has taken place since President Trump was inaugurated, a special election victory in Iowa in January, a special election victory in New York in February, a special election victory in Pennsylvania in March, a special election victory in Wisconsin in the Supreme Court race in April, and yesterday, decisively defeating a Republican incumbent in Omaha in a surprise to many observers. Clearly, voters are trusting Democrats. This year, when they go to the ballot, repeatedly rejecting MAGA extremism.
How many people did he just count? How many people did he just count?
I have no idea.
A handful? And they weren't all in the same place. There are 50 states. How many counties do we have? Municipalities and all of this other stuff. And how many people do we have on various and sundry state Supreme Courts and so on and so forth? Come on. Hyperbole. You're exaggerating. You're selling wolf tickets, boy. I could see it if it was a fine chick, but they getting off on Fidel and Che. Now, remember the other accusations about that homosexual stuff that's going on up in there too? And the dudes that are talking about Diddy trying to make a move on them. Oh man. Like, what have I been saying? That's why the Democratic Party loves those boys in the girls' bathrooms.